Hello, 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 my darlings. How are you today? Oh, well, I'm sure you're looking at this scarf around my neck. And if you are a Spelman woman, then you know what I'm wearing today. I'm wearing Spelman. This is a Spelman pen, and this is my Joseph R. Biden Presidential Award pen. Thank you, Dr. Beverly Key, and your organization for presenting the Biden Award to a number of us, including my daughter for the work on the movie at the Atlanta student movement level. You know what? This is a thank you day. This is a day to reflect. And so, I talk about 65 and older. I want to talk about the number 63. What does the number 63 mean for October the 19th, 1960 and October the 19th, 2023? First, before anything, giving honor to God to be able to live to another day. And especially 63, the number I spoke of, because this is the 63rd anniversary of the Atlanta student movement. The day we walked out of Spelman, out of Morehouse, out of Clark College, out of Atlanta University, out of Morris Brown College, and ITC, people in the neighborhoods, communities, we all march on this day. This was the day that Dr. King also was arrested, the same day as we made our way, as we made that trek to stand up for righteousness, to stand up and say to the world that we are somebody, and you should not treat us the way you're treating us, stopping us from separating us by the color of our skin. Whoever heard of such a thing? Especially for me coming to school from the north to the south. And so I wear today my Spelman. Thank you, Dr. Annie Cheney Jones, for making sure that the Spelman College class of 1964, that we received these panels that we can wear, our scarves, as we commemorate today, that day. And so we had an event at Morehouse College today. Over at Morehouse College in the Martin Luther King's chapel. Do you know I cried because they had a viewing of the film that my daughter and I worked on, mostly my daughter, called Foot Soldiers, the Class of 1964. If you research on Google, you will find a website, www.footsoldiers1964.com. If you go to pbs.org, you will find the movie Foot Soldiers in 1964. And what really got me today was to see those young people sitting there, my age, the way we used to sit, and the way they sat and watched that movie today. I'm still emotional about it. It's taken me all day to do this slice of life, because I had to reflect on today. I had to reflect on having Marilyn Price Hoyt. Oh, of course, I didn't bring the book. Where is it? I might get up for that. Marilyn Price Hoyt wrote a book about foot soldiers, and we have a movie about foot soldiers. And we were the ones, I call ourselves foot soldiers because we weren't the leadership. The Atlanta Student Movement had its own organization, and they were the leaders, led by Lonnie King over to Morehouse and Herschel Sullivan Challenor over to Spelman, Dr. Challenor today. Over at Morehouse, they had Charles Black, and we also had Rosalynn Pope. If you look up Dr. Rosalynn Pope, or if you go downtown in Atlanta, you'll see a mural. Dr. Rosalynn Pope, as she was a Girl Scout, and she led the way. She went the only Black Girl Scout to some national event. I'm not sure, but I'm glad. She's a late Dr. Rosalynn Pope because we lost her this year in 2023. She helped lead the way, she and Julian Bond, to write the Appeal on Human Rights. When you read the Appeal on Human Rights, it's the same exact needs that we have from 1960 to 2023. To think that we marched and think that, we broke all those rules. We were young and didn't know any better. I didn't know any better. And all I knew was that I had grown up being able to go to the F.W. Woolworth, which was a 5 and dime chain of stores where you can find, great items, quality items for little or no money. And mostly they had a soda fountain in them. And you can order a hamburger, a hot dog, or some kind of little ice cream sundae. And you can buy your stockings and your makeup. I guess it'd be equivalent to what a Target or a Walmart might be today, but smaller scale. And so I grew up going to the Woolworth when I got old enough to go by myself, and I could get, maybe I had earned it, or they gave me 25 cents. 50 cents was a lot, I remember, but for 25 cents you can get a hamburger, and you can get a drink and a soda. And then if you have a little money left over, you can usually find something for a dime. And I think back on that, I don't remember taxes. If you could buy, it was a 5 and dime store. I don't think you paid anything but the 5 or the dime. So today, to watch those students at Morehouse look at that movie that my daughter and I fought to have. We want to thank Alexis Scott, because she wrote the article about the movie before it was a movie. And we used that article to just try to get leverage, to get somebody to help us. I knew there was something I wanted, and it didn't make sense to anybody. When I asked my classmates at our reunion at our 45th, and in 2024 we'll be coming up on our 60th, but at our 45th reunion, I asked people to come and join me in an interview. At that time, we were working with Emory University, and we thought that was a good marriage, but it turned out not to be, so that's why my daughter and I waited to do the movie independently by ourselves. But we want to thank Emory University because they did agree. It was just a disagreement on who should do what. It was my story. It was Spelman's story. It was Black women having Black experience, having had one. I don't know what's going on back here. I'm sorry. And I just think we just had a misunderstanding that I didn't want to try to work out exactly, because I just thought that there was another way of doing it. And the way I want it done, the way I thought was the best way, is the way we did it on our own. It was very difficult to do it, but I was determined, and so was my daughter, Reverend Evelyn Sanders Swafford, to get the story told. There were a number of untold stories, and there are still a number of untold stories. Do you know that the women that we interviewed, many of them had never told their story until it was seen on the big screen? You have to thank Catherine Bertrand and Shirley Riley Gripper and oh Lord, I should never start calling names. Sometimes 81 has to think of those names. I see her pretty face right now with 3 of them agreed to have our movie over at the Bronze Lens. They agreed to show our movie and they allowed our movie to be in the Bronze Lens Film Festival. That was one of the best things that could have happened to us, because we went on to win the Pan-African, which is the largest Black film festival in the world. We won number 1 in documentary. I wasn't there. Couldn't afford for all of us to go. It was just 2 of us. So my daughter went. We went on a shoestring. Everything was on a shoestring. But God had a plan. That's what I said. When God has a plan for you, there is nothing anybody can do about it. There were many people who tried to stop us. and spoke against us and didn't want our movie to be made or seen or done. But it's hard to stop what I know God has for us. And it's hard to stop a moving train. And the train has been moving ever since. So we're in the 10th year of the movie. And the 63rd year that we walked out of those gates. My family wasn't happy. I walked out of those gates. But I didn't care. We were 16. Somebody was 15. But anyway, we were 15, 16, and 17 years old. You know how you are when you're 15, 16, 17, 18. You really think you're somebody. So we thought we were somebody. I mean, we were freshmen. We had just gotten to Spelman. How you going to just get there and be somebody? But it was the words of Herschel Sullivan, Shalinor, that guided us, gave us what we needed to be able to get up and think about that. For me, it was the opportunity to say, how dare you? I had gone to school with you, lived next door to you. My counselors were you. I worked for somebody that looked like you. As a teenager, I played tennis with somebody that looked like you. I bowled with people who looked like you, and all of a sudden, people who looked like you thought they were better than people who looked like me, and I could not mix with you. Ludicrous. Crazy. I said, oh, no. I don't know, what all y'all are mystified about, because they're people, just like we're people. They're human, just like I'm human. They're American, just like I'm American. So I don't get the point. So therefore, I'm going to march. I think about it now. When I saw the Klan, had my little placard. When a man burned me, why would you burn me? Why would you burn me with your cigarette? What did you think you were going to do to me? What did you think that was going to stop me? Oh, it hurt. Oh, it hurt now. And I wasn't embarrassed. He tried to humiliate me. You can't, that's something that was on him, not on me. We had been told whatever happened that it was a nonviolent movement. And so whatever it was, the spit, people spitting on you and calling you the N word. I went on anyway. So today, I proudly wear my drape. I proudly wear my drape. The City of Atlanta City Council, I want to remind all that this is the 63rd anniversary of the arrest of Dr. Martin Luther King alongside the activists of the Atlanta Student Movement in front of Rich's department store in downtown Atlanta. Do you know I didn't know what a Rich's was? I didn't even know where I was. I knew that it was something I was going to do. Dr. King's arrest was particularly significant as it was asked when he relocated to his home. As he was asked when he relocated to the hometown of Atlanta from Alabama by the established African American leadership in Atlanta not to bring his movement activities to the city. My mother said, I didn't know Dr. King was over there. I thought he was still in Alabama when I was writing her. I had some wonderful letters that I wrote. Everything, every detail. I asked my mother for the letters, and she had thrown them out maybe the same day. Those of you still living, see if you can find those letters that you wrote. All right. Anyway, when I tell you today was emotional, it's emotional because I remember the time. Isn't it a song like that? I remember how difficult it was. Wait a minute. I'm just looking at what's going on. The cat has climbed up on my car. Is that a cat? I'm sorry, everybody. You know, I live in the woods. And something was going on, so I just want to make sure. Too much. Anyway, it's you would think we would be further along. You would think maybe by now you get tired of spitting on me in new ways, calling me the N word in different ways, thinking less about me, making problems for me because of the color of my skin when the world is colored. Has anybody ever told white America that, or even asked them to maybe think for maybe 5 minutes about why, when they travel outside the United States, they see all these people that look like me? They call them exotic, but they call me stupid. They can't wait to get to one of those places, one of those islands, and look at the island people. They're the same people. We're all the same people. Where do you think that color comes from? The same people. We're the same people. You want to be mad with me because I survived. You're only angry with me because I survived. And you were fed a lie. You said I was stupid. You need to read the book, The Coming. Let me recommend to everyone in the sound of my voice to find the book, The Coming, by Dr. Daniel Black, and read it so you understand that nobody was stupid coming across the transatlantic. Nobody was dumb that came across the transatlantic. The people that came across the transatlantic when they got here were dumbfounded on what in the heck happened. How did we get here? What is going on? Where is the humaneness? Where are the humans? Where are the people that they're people, they're humans? Do they know not that they're humans? And why are they treating me inhumane? I don't speak your language, no. I don't know this culture. I had my own, much of which you've stolen. Oh, there's some stories to be told. So it is the Atlanta student movement and the explanation that came out today from the city council, specifically Michael Bond, whose father, of course, was the late Julian Bond, our guru of the Atlanta student movement. It began in 1960 with the formation of the Committee on Appeal for Human Rights. The Committee on Appeal for Human Rights. It was made up of students primarily from the Atlanta University Center, Morehouse College, Spelman College, Clark College, Morris Brown College, Atlanta University, and ITC, who published the document An Appeal for Human Rights initially in the New York Times. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution went on to publish it also in the Harvard Crimson and in publications around the world. Go and find it. It reads just like we need it today. The late Rosin Pope and Julian Bond went over to Howard Zinn's house, Dr. Zinn, and typed it up. They wrote it longhand first. And if you go to the corner of, what's the new street? It'd be Fair Street used to be. It's called Atlanta Student Movement and Broadway. It used to be Chestnut. You'll see a placard that Michael Bond had done. The appeal is there for everybody to go and read it and see that appeal right there on the grounds of the AUC. And also, of course, you can always Google it. And in publications around the world, now resides in the Library of Congress. Many of these students went on to be co-founders of SNCC, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. King's arrest with the students would have far-reaching effects beyond Atlanta. My roommate, who was my roommate the next year, Dolores Young Strawbridge, she went to jail. My roommate at the time that I marched did not march because she said, because her statement was she needed to keep her scholarship. Well, Georgianne needed to keep her scholarship. But I said they had a lot of reasons why students in the South had to keep the scholarships and had to not march because their parents would lose their jobs. White people had control over your job, everything. If you went to college and taught school and your child was out there marching along with Georgianne, then that child, parent, teacher, who was a teacher, or could be domestic worker, from domestic workers to teacher, if the white person found out, then that person would lose their job. Crazy. Where are those people today? Who are the ancestors? Who are the children of those people today? It was some kind of day today. Most African Americans in the South were good Lincoln Republicans. Did you know that most black people were Republicans? So the presidential campaign, Richard Nixon was asked to intervene, fearing fearing alienating. I don't know why I can't get these words right. Southern voters, they sent well wishes to Mrs. King, but there was nothing else. What happened was John Kennedy got involved, got his brother to get involved, and the brother, Bobby, called the judge and said, "You arrested Dr. King. That wasn't the right thing to do." Once they released Dr. King, then Daddy King said, "Well, maybe we ought to go with the Catholic. Maybe it's not so bad. They got my son out of jail." And word got out, and so Kennedy was able to win because of the black vote. Did. And all that is from the Atlanta student movement. Listen, I don't consider myself a hero or heroine or whatever word we want to use today. I don't think anything about it. I actually did not talk about any of it. It had not been, I was reading somewhere and I saw that I didn't hear any stories about my class. My classmates, nothing. It was nothing. It was all the same brand names. And I think, well, what about the people who just march? Leaders need followers. So I'm going to talk about the followers, and I'm going to call them foot soldiers. And guess what? That's the only word y'all hear now. Foot soldier this and foot soldier that. That came from Georgianne Thomas, Evelyn Sanders naming their movie Foot Soldiers. That's where it came from. People were not talking about foot soldiers before the movie. They were not. No, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Not en masse like they are now. And we're grateful. We're grateful that you thought enough of us to carry the legacy forward. You thought enough of us, Atlanta City government and Atlanta City Council, to give a proclamation to the movie. You thought enough of us, the state of Georgia, the state Senate and the state House, to give us resolutions. Look it up. Foot Soldiers, the class of 1964. You thought enough of us to tell the story. You thought enough of our story to give us a congressional record, Congresswoman Nikema Williams. You thought enough of us, Beverly Key, to include a section for those writers and those filmmakers who supported or wrote about during the time of the marching and demonstrating, that there was a documentation that was worthy of getting the Joseph R. Biden Presidential Award. And so today I'm not doing 65 and older, but you almost got to be 65 and older just to have some idea maybe of the importance of the Atlanta student movement. Obviously, we are 65 and older. When you look at our movie, it's about 7 people that have passed away in the movie. There are not many of us left to tell the story. I'm so glad that Dr. Clarissa Myrick Harris and Dr. Earl Monique Lewis over at Morehouse College have taken up the reign and said, we will carry the news. We will carry the story. We will make sure that October 19th is remembered. I have a map that Lawrence Blinky Walden, out of Chicago, now living in Jacksonville, Florida. He did a fabulous map. He did the graphics for me. As I said, we need to have a map. We need to say where we walked. If we don't write down and document, these new people gonna come in here and they have all kind of stories that you never heard before. Look what they're doing with our books. We're taking books away from. Who ever heard of such a thing? What kind of country is this that you censoring books? And it's the same group of people that would like to censor us right off the map. But I'm grateful for YouTube. I'm grateful that I have the energy. I'm grateful to still be here to tell the story. I'm grateful that I have a daughter that thought enough to get it done for me. We had some fights. I'm grateful that Westbrook and Carlos Hunt and Crawford Media and they had the music, Zero Hill's grandson. See what 81, you should never start calling names. Is Kendall. Yes, Kendall. First name Kendall, last name Kendall, went to Western. Anyway, so many people helped us get that movie. Foot Soldiers, the class of 1964. We marched October the 19th, 1960. Dr. King got arrested. It made the news. My Little People didn't make the news. Belinda Clark Logan didn't make the news. And Gloria Knowles Glass didn't make the news. And Val Jean Williams didn't make the news. You know, Deborah Dorsey didn't make the news. So many people didn't make the news. But we made news. We did. We made a difference. Somebody somewhere can do something that they would not have been able to do without all of those names and more. We thank you, Ambassador Young. We thank you, the late Congressman John Lewis. We thank you, the late Sam Massell. We thank you, the late Maynard Jackson. We thank you, the late Ivan Allen. We talking about 1960. 1960. I finished high school in June of 1960. I had no idea about anything. A white man handed me my diploma in my hand. He didn't drop it like they would drop the money because they didn't want to touch my black, nasty hand. But they wanted my money. They would scrape it up and throw it in there because they had to mix the money. But somebody went home and counted the money, and they counted that money and sent their kids to the all-white schools and made sure we didn't get it, but they didn't want to touch me. But a white man handed me my degree, my diploma from Gary Public Schools. I won't be here forever. I know that. I want my last quarter to be a good quarter. This is part of my good quarter. I didn't have a get up today. I actually didn't have on this hair. I changed hair. Oh, let me give y'all something to laugh at. So I was going over to Morehouse to talk about the movie. I didn't think it was appropriate to have any of this get up hair on. I don't know, there's something about it. I got a gray wig. So I put on my gray wig because it matched my hair under here. I like my hair. You heard me say I like my hair. I just got to have some. So I changed hair. But I brought the hair with me. I'm going to go after this. You're going to like this. So I thought I was going to do a slice of life from Pascal's, because afterwards we went to Pascal's. They don't even know that I said, "Excuse me, I need to go to my car," and I needed to breathe a minute. I just felt overwhelmed. I did. I wanted to go to my car, but in my car was this wig. So they all look alike. I guess we all look alike. So I went to my car. Soon as I got in my car to get ready to take a wig off, here come a whole bunch of folks stand out there on the phone. I said, "Georgianne, what you gonna do now? You out here." So soon as somebody turned their back, I snatched the wig off and put this one on. I sure did. When I walked back in, then nobody said, "Oh, you look different. What happened?" Nothing. Oh, Georgianne, I have such a good time with Georgianne. You all just don't know. I'm into my only child days. You know, only child, they by themselves, I'm by myself. And I'm having my only child days. You know, when you just have fun by yourself, you learn to play by yourself. This weekend, I'm going to turn on my piano. I miss you, girl. I do. I just like looking at you. It's the most beautiful gift I've received in a long time. It's something that I always wanted. I always wanted this thing right here. I don't know how my brother knew to buy this for me, but I always wanted it. Well, Dale Ramsey, I'm getting ready. Who would think I would have Dale Ramsey to be the engineer and the everything on the rest of my album? My 3 songs. Choose Me, dun 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 dun. And the other one is oh Lord, you gotta know your songs. Choose Me, Lord, 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 show me my mate. Cute little song. You know, I do Broadway. Somebody tell Kenny Lee Gone, can he find something for me to do on Broadway? Just let me do my 3 songs. People on Broadway, though, they're so professional. They'll take all his Tonys back. And then my last song, Something Happened Today. You know I love this. Something I didn't know. I fell in love with my friend. And I knew for sure. Yeah, you like this. You like this song. This is going to be the wedding song if we can ever get it out. Dale, get ready, get ready, get ready. All right, I've talked myself in a better mood now. It's late. It's late. But I'm so happy. I had to get up and go speak to some students tomorrow, Saturday, October the 19th. I promised Morehouse this was a 3-day week. So, I mean, I've been with them I've been going over to Morehouse since last Monday. You know, I teach at Clark Atlanta, right? The Clark Atlanta people, this is homecoming weekend. You all know that I didn't give not one assignment this weekend. Are you crazy? I'm not giving any assignment to, I used to be young. I'm not giving any assignment to nobody that's going to be out partying. You know, I wanted to be a queen for Morehouse. Did I tell y'all that? I'm going to stop 1 second. They didn't take me. I wanted to be Miss Omega Psi Phi. I did. They had me walk and turn around and look. I know I look good, I thought. They got somebody else. When they came to me the senior year, talking about, "You going to be our queen?" I said, "I don't think so." Y'all didn't take me my freshman year. Now your tastes have changed. Oh, no. Get somebody else. I'm good. So I've been good ever since. I love my Morehouse brothers. My daddy went to Morehouse. What else I'm going to do? I love my Spelman sisters. My mother went to Spelman. Do you know I lived in the same dorm as my mother, Packard Hall? I sure did. I love my Morris Brown. That's my church. Big Bethel AME Church. I'm a trustee emeritus. Thank you so much. I love my Clark College because I earned my doctorate. My daughter got her first master's at Atlanta University. It was nothing like Atlanta University. Nothing. The library science program, people came from far and wide, black and white. The best. And so now it's combined. Oh, I'm way past my time. And I have on my glasses, darling. I have to go. Anyway, I love you. Happy 63rd anniversary of the Atlanta student movement. We marched. Yes, we did. We demonstrated. Yes, we did. I love you, darlings. And you can't do anything about it.